Hello, everybody. It's
Hey.
very nice to see that you are not gone home yet. I was thinking that there's nobody anymore. But anyway, uh, as MC told, my name is Veli-Pekka PIIRAINEN. Pretty hard name to pronounce for you, I think. So I'm founder and CEO of my company, Critical Force Entertainment Ltd, former known as Studio on Mars. So I have been working also at the university, still working part-timely, and I founded the game development curriculum, and I was leading the game development lab at the university. And I'm also co-founder of another games company called NMP Games Ltd, also in Finland, and they're making web-based games. And I have been working also part-timely at studio manager at Supercell North. So we founded a second studio of Supercell in Kajani. It ran about 10 months. We made one game for them, but it was closed after that because of diverse reasons. Mostly that we make games with Unity, and Supercell didn't want to use Unity in their projects, and they want to concentrate all development in Helsinki. And there's my contact information. So about my company, Critical Force Entertainment Ltd, it was founded 2012, so it's a little more than 1 year old now, and we are mainly focusing on making cross-platform games with Unity 3D game engine. And so our first product is called Critical Mission SWAT. It was formerly known as Critical Strike Portable. I'll tell you more about that later. But anyway, we are making our premium games, and we are aiming also now to make free-to-play games of our current games, so free-to-play versions. And we have many players in Asia, especially in China, so we have in the future also special focus in Asia. And my company is so far self-funded. I have put my own money there, but I'm looking for investors also at the moment. So our team is very small, so I am working as a CEO, and so I'm working 100% for my company and 50% for the university. So I work 12 to 14, 16 hours per day. And another guy, Teppo, is development manager. And main programmer, Igor, is a Russian guy who has been living more than 10 years already in Finland. He's the practically father of the game we have made. Then I have a lead artist who's making 2D artists mostly, Thanapodi from Thailand. And then I have one guy in Beijing. He's working part-time for us, Teemu. And Nico is a 3D artist, and Richard is support manager. So practically these are people I'm paying something, more or less. And then I have many interns because I have good relations with the university, so I get trainees from the game development curriculum as well as from the business side. So there's all the time, let's say 3 to 5 trainees working. But the most important thing is that we have very good community, so we have many volunteers helping us develop the game, especially making maps and support the community. So we have 2 very important guys. Another is in Ukraine and another is in Russia. They're coordinating the map development for the game, and also making the map testing and leading the map testing. And all support people are also dedicated players who are helping other players, and they give also very good feedback. So our main product at the time is Critical Mission SWAT. It's a first-person shooter game on web and mobile and PC and Mac. So it's a true cross-platform FPS online game. And at the moment I don't know any other game supporting so many different platforms. So Uberstrike is strong on web and Facebook and also on PC and Mac, but the iOS version is not so successful, and they don't have any Android version. And then I don't know any other games, cross-platform games. So what it means that our game is first true cross-platform game is that players can really play against each other. So it doesn't matter is player playing on PC or on mobile, they can play against each other. And of course, many say that it's not possible to play using mobile against PC player. That's partly true, but when you use tablet and when you're very skilled, you can give very good, or you can be a very good opponent also for PC players. And I have also heard that it's not good to play first-person shooters on mobile, but at least I can enjoy playing our game on tablet. I find it much more easier to play as with gamepad. So you can, with fingers you can aim much more accurate than using gamepad. So that's my opinion. So I have PC player background. I never used to play first-person shooters with the gamepad and on consoles. So somehow I feel tablet much more better than gamepad. But anyway, our game brings the Counter-Strike-like gaming experience on web and other platforms. And as I said, they can play against each other when they want to play. Of course, mobile players can choose only games where other players are mobile players. So if they don't want to play against PC and web players. So I tell later a little bit the history how the things started. So here's some chart about the daily active users. The highest peak of daily active users was March 16th this year, more than 300,000 daily active users. Problem is that our game is still free, so it's really free to play. There's no ads, there's nothing. So we have only premium versions on Android and on App Store, so Google Play and App Store, with price $2.99. But it does not work so well. It's not so easy. But for the free versions of Android, especially there's more than 10 million downloads. So we have about 50-50 web players and mobile players. So the curve is slightly declining now. So we have now a little bit more than 200,000 daily active users. Because of that lack of resources, we haven't had so much time to renew the game and give more content there. Because we are now making in-game shop and in-app purchases there, and it takes so much time. So the history how things proceeded. So actually, very first version was done December 2011. So our main programmer Igor, who started to make the game as a hobby project, put it on Congregate in December 2011. And he got many hundred players, and he showed me the game that look what I have done, and it has pretty much players, many hundred players already. So we were making that time another game for iOS platform, a tablet game. So I didn't pay so much attention for the game. I was thinking, oh, cool, that's nice, but it's not our focus. So we continued making another game, and in January 2012, Igor showed again, look how many players I have now. I have already many thousand players here. I said, oh, that's cool. Maybe we can use the game like a marketing channel or something for our real games. Because I was thinking that first-person shooters, a small company like us, how can we compete against big players making first-person shooter? So, but anyway, I was thinking that if we use that as a marketing channel, like a cross-promotion channel or something like that, that if we make a mobile version that we can let people play free, and then we can maybe promote our other games in that game. So Igor made a port on Android and on iOS. So test versions, that's how it works. This works smooth enough, and it worked pretty well. And I attended GDC in San Francisco 2012, and I took the game with me and showed it to people, and they were very, very happy to see that, wow, they haven't seen this kind of game before on mobile phone and tablet, like playing Counter-Strike on mobile. And then I was thinking that, well, maybe this could be a good thing that we concentrate on this game, because those same people didn't have so much interest about another game we are making. So so we decided after March 2012 that we concentrate only the first-person shooter game. So I hired more people. So I hired Teemu to make some business things, marketing things. Teemu used to work in my office during that time before moving to Beijing. And then I hired also 2D artists to make a better-looking UI, because the UI we had was pretty crappy. So it was a direct port from the web version. Very small buttons. You have to tap the buttons with nail, and didn't work so well. And we get the first real mobile version on Android in June 2012, and we put it on Google Play just for free to download, and we get 1 million downloads in 1 month. And but the game was still near finished yet, because the UI was still not good enough. So Unity tools for the UI were not so good. Anyway, so then I hired 2 interns. They start in August, and one guy start to make level design, so more maps, and another guy start to make better UI with NGUI. It's a tool for the Unity to make better looking user interface. So our aim was a premium version on iOS. So we were thinking that we monetize with a premium version, because we don't have or didn't have any experience about free-to-play games. And we were thinking it's too big task for us first make free-to-play games, so we can make it later. But we make first premium version and monetize with it. So we made new guns, new maps, new user interface, new controls, and we launched our first iOS version in November, end of November 2012. And of course expectations were big, but it didn't work. So premium version was very hard to sell. People didn't want to buy because they were so used to get games free. So we made same version on Google Play also next month, released next month, and then made also light version beginning of this year, and Mac version in February. And so what we have resulted. So we have got many downloads of the free versions, especially the free Android version, Critical Strike Portable. Players love our game, and they are very solid fan base. But there's not so much incomes yet. So because the selling of the premium is not so easy. So we have at this moment, those figures are a little bit old because I gave these slides a couple of weeks ago. So they are now, I think, 36,000 downloads, and incomes about near 40,000 US dollars. So, but it's not enough for us. But we have already got lots of experience, especially on game business, and we are making the free-to-play version now. And of course, Supercell is encouraging us. 3.4 million per day is a good result. So we would be happy if we get that in 1 year. Anyway, because making a free-to-play version is not so easy and fast task, we were thinking, oh, we reskin the game, so make the base version of the same game, but the space team with laser guns and space type maps, and we made it during the spring. It was, of course, longer task than we were thinking, because we were thinking that you need only artists to make new things and that, like that. But we got this published last week, and I will show a small trailer. Okay. So, as I said, we released this last week, and already have got maybe 500 downloads, not so many. But what we have done same time, so we have also localized critical mission SWAT in Korea. So we have the publisher Incross Ltd, and we have made new guns, new models, and new maps for the next update. And the main thing is we have been developing the in-app purchases part, so make an in-game shop. And we did Oya console port, so our game is also in Oya store. So of course Oya does not monetize yet because we put it free, and there's not so many Oya consoles on the market, but it was a good experience. So we are also porting the game now on BlackBerry, so almost finished. And we make also gamepad integrations. So we made the Samsung gamepad integration at the moment, and we also made iOS gamepad. So it's a blade pad, especially for iPhones. And it will come in the stores end of next month. And we start to monetize little by little. So we will integrate ads and offer walls and cross-promotion things in the free versions. And I have to say that that's a totally new things for me. I have been learning a lot in every conference, like here I have been discussing with ad service providers and so on. And of course we make release a real free-to-play release version, starting the web version first. Then we have been negotiating with NDFC, Helsinki company, so that we give our source code and the game, that they can develop own version of the game. So more like a first-person shooter mage game, having spells and so on. And we are looking for a partner in China, because China is the biggest market, and actually most of the mobile players are already coming from China. So we need a good partner in China that they can set up servers there and make the marketing and localization. Windows 8 can come, I'm not sure, is it worth of making? Probably yes. And any thing else we will make is that I try to find an investor, have money for marketing and for growing faster, because there's not any leading game on mobile, so for a leading first-person shooter game on mobile yet, and that's our target, that we would be like that. And there's already also made a prototype for a new game, which we start to make next month. So what mistakes we made? First mistake was the outsourcing. So we tried to outsource the graphics, and because we had a Thai freelancer, Thai artist in my company, we tried Thai freelancers, but they didn't work well. We didn't find people who could make good quality with a reasonable price. But now we have one good company in Philippines. They are helping us a lot, and they are very cheap. Also lack of focus. This always have been our problem, because we try to make too many things at the same time, especially in the beginning. We had 2 simultaneous projects, and also have had now. But that's the startup, try to find the best solutions what to do. And the management and time management has been also a problem, especially for me, because still working part-time at the university and try to share my time between university and my company. But anyway, when I get enough money, then I will quit the work at the university and concentrate on my company. One mistake is that, or was that, we tried to self-publish in the beginning, because we were thinking that the free version was so successful, so we can easily also sell premium version, but it didn't work. We didn't get enough visibility on App Store. And also in the beginning there was we chose wrong server host provider, because they cut off our lines. They said that our traffic was 30% of the whole traffic, and the cost was too much for the server provider, so they just cut the lines and didn't tell us anything. And given 2 times that our map server didn't work at all, and then we changed the server provider, and now it works well. So we have learned it's not so easy to run a games company. In the beginning, of course, you imagine that you make good game, put on the market, and sell a lot, and get lots of money, but it's hard work. But it's worth of it. And I have still wrong belief that I will make good money in the future. So thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for your sharing about your experience. So I have 2 questions to ask. First thing is about the Unity development.
Yep.
So in terms of now, do you facing any difficulty with the Unity, especially on the Android and iOS? And second is I'm wondering, your game is the first-person shooter, and I'm wondering how do you manage the control on the Android and iOS to make it smooth for the player?
Okay, so first question about the Unity is that so actually porting the games is very easy. So when it works on PC, on web. It works very well and very easy on mobile also. But the biggest problem what we have had with Unity is the version controlling. That you have many. Now we have 2 games that the core of the game is same, and they have different versions. So how to control the versions? So maybe it's just our unexperience that we don't know the right tools. We are using the Unity team server or asset server, what's the name? And there's always problems that when somebody submits something there, that then it's very hard to get back old version, make a build of the old version. So that's definitely the most difficult part in the Unity development. So I try to find help somewhere how to make it easier. And the second question about the controls, they work fine. So our controls are customizable, so you can relocate the buttons or controls wherever you want. You can resize them and you can adjust sensitivity. But I can show you how they work. And of course it's a question of how you get used to and how fast you get used to with the controls. So if you have if you have used to play another game with different style, it can be a little bit difficult to adjust your style. Of course you can adjust the controls for your taste. But I'm very happy with the controls personally. Any other questions?
Do you have a problem with when you release the multiplayer mode to connect player to player? Like the server cannot access, receive the load too much.
So we are using Photon server, network server, and Photon Cloud, and it's very scalable. So the amount of users has not been a problem. So Photon scales pretty well, and also the map server has been running so fast, so it has not been a problem yet.
But only premium version that has the multiplayer mode, right?
So actually the web version has multiplayer version and premium version, and the old Android version.
Okay, thank
so
you.
So the multiplayer is the most people are playing multiplayer anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Alright, the game is also there in the indie showcase, so you guys could go by and play the Critical series. Yeah, thanks.